Beautiful afternoon in the desert, and it's baseball time. San Diego Padres returning to their spring home, the Phoenix area, to open up a 4-game series against the Diamondbacks. A former Diamondback, Justin Upton, outstanding numbers against Arizona in his career. He's in the starting lineup again here tonight. Meanwhile, for the Diamondbacks, Ender Inciarte. This guy is starting to develop a reputation as a Padre killer. Will Odrisamer Despaigne be able to hold him in check? A look at the up-to-date National League West standings. Padres in second place with 15 wins. The Diamondbacks just about a game and a half behind, 12 wins and 14 losses here early in 2015. Welcome to Chase Field with Mark Grant. I'm Jesse Agler, first of 4 between the Padres and the Diamondbacks downtown Phoenix, Arizona. All right, Mud, let's have some fun. Let's talk about the guy that's starting tonight. It's not Brandon Morrow. His spot in the rotation, right. He's on the disabled list. Buddy Black, he needed to go to a lifeline, essentially. He needed some help from somebody.
Can I use Lifeline?
You can use your Lifeline. Which one are you going to use?
I'd like to phone a friend.
All right, who are you going to call?
I'd like to call Odrisamer Despaigne.
Okay.
Can we get him on the line?
There you go.
Okay. We'll wait for him to answer, because I tell you what, when the bell rings, Odrisamer Despaigne answers the call. This is going to be his 3rd start. And when you look at the career against the Diamondbacks, 5 starts, nice record, but even better ERA at 2.59. Opponents only hitting 193. Now, what does he do? He keeps the hitters off balance. The ball has a tendency to travel here in Arizona. It's like pitching over in Peoria, right? So he's going to have to go to spring training mode, keep him off balance, keep the ball in the yard, and hopefully Odrisamer Despaigne, after he hangs up this call, it's about 6 or 7, maybe 8 innings out of the right-hander from Cuba.
All right, one of the guys he's going to have to contend with is the big first baseman for Arizona, Paul Goldschmidt. Yep. Look, people don't talk about him enough. He's one of the best players in the National League.
No question about it. This guy is talked about quite a bit, and he really doesn't get the love that he deserves. National League rankings, 4th, tied for 5th in home runs. He's a Gold Glover. He's a 2-time All-Star. This guy can put up Triple Crown numbers. He'll win a batting title someday. He steals bases as well. Just don't look at his physique and think that he's just big caveman up there swinging that shillelagh and hitting the ball in the ballpark. Hits for average, hits for power, steals some bases, always hustling. 6
stolen bases in 6 attempts, as you said. All right, Jed Jerko not in the starting lineup tonight, but he's starting to get his groove back. You can see some good stuff from the second baseman. Chris Budden will chat with him next. Padres and the Diamondbacks coming up from Phoenix.
Welcome back to Arizona, game one of a 4-game series against the Diamondbacks. Jed Jerko not in the lineup today, but has had a great few days. Over the last 4 days, 4 for 11 with a few RBIs and a home run. He's taken some time off to work with the hitting coaches Mark Kotze and Alonzo Powell, and he talks about how those private sessions with them have helped his improvement at the plate.
You know, obviously I think it's helped a lot. Our swings have gotten a lot better. Feeling comfortable with the plate, I think that's key. Staying above the ball, putting the barrel on the ball a little more often than I was earlier in the season. So anytime you do that, you're going to have a little bit more success.
So again, Jed not in the lineup today. He is available to come off the bench later in the game and provide some hits. We saw a lot of them yesterday when the boys were in San Francisco. Maybe the bats heat up again. Second day in a row. We got first pitch coming up from Arizona on Fox Sports San Diego.
Count to 10, and on 5, I will touch my talkback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Checo put that throw right on the bag.
Padres looking for more high fives after tonight's game. Phoenix, Arizona, Chase Field, downtown. Padres and the Diamondbacks getting ready to play the first of 4 straight Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. Padres lineup tonight is brought to you by Toyota. Hey, there's Will Myers in his familiar leadoff spot. Corey Spangenberg making a 3rd consecutive start at second base. Jan Hervis Solarte gets a start at 3rd. Derek Norris back in after the off day yesterday. And Odrisamer Despaigne now has a batting average for the first time in his career.
Hopefully he can pad that tonight in Arizona. And speaking of Arizona, Diamondbacks scouting report brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Right-hander Ruby De La Rosa, 26-year-old. Opponents are just hitting 163 with 14 strikeouts his last 2 outings. Why? He's got the 4-seam fastball, mid-90s, the hard changeup coming in hot now. And he's got a little arm side run to that changeup. That's his secondary pitch. He'll also throw a slider and a 2-seam fastball.
De La Rosa, the winning pitcher in San Diego on April 13th. He allowed 3 runs in 6 innings. That was the only game of a 3-game series between these teams that the Diamondbacks picked up a win on. Padres took the final game of the series in San Francisco yesterday. 16 hits in the 9-1 victory over the Giants. They supplied all kinds of run support for Ian Kennedy, who was outstanding. He allowed just 1 run in 7 innings as the Pods look to keep it going here in the desert. Will Myers stands in. De La Rosa ready. And the first pitch of the night is swung on and missed. Strike one. That was outstanding yesterday from Ian Kennedy. Always nice when you get that run support, right?
Great outing. Battled for 7 innings. Only gave up 1 run. He did not walk a giant. That was a nice night in the big leagues.
Myers back to De La Rosa. Ruby's got it. And that is the first out of the game. Diamondbacks defense is brought to you by Renovation Realty, a defensive play made by De La Rosa, but he's got 8 other guys to help him out for the rest of the night. Peralta in left, Enciarte's got that great arm in center field, Mark Trumbo in right field. Hey, Yasmani Tomas, he's been doing some starting over at third base. Nick Ahmed at short, Chris Owings, Paul Goldschmidt with old Tuffy Gozawish behind the plate.
Hey, this Diamondback team can catch the ball. 11 errors, second fewest in the National League.
Corey Spangenberg had a nice day yesterday in San Francisco. He takes strike one from De La Rosa. Career high 3 hits in the game against the Giants. And hey, early in the season, you can do stuff like raise your batting average from 242 to 289. That's what he did yesterday.
Seeing the ball well, put it in play, hitting it hard.
A lot of points. Spangenberg yesterday was starting at third base, tonight at second as he takes low. 2 balls and a strike.
Hey, the panels and the roof are open. Downtown Phoenix, Copper Square.
Just beautiful today.
Oh, what a great evening. Ball's going to be jumping. I mean, this place is a launching pad already. It's like pitching on the moon. You open up those panels in the roof, look out.
2-1. Spangenberg takes low outside. 3 balls and a strike. They figure they got another few weeks of nice springtime weather before the summer comes to Phoenix.
Hey, there's a party at the pool.
Every night, right?
Stay hydrated.
Spangenberg hits the 3-1 in the air. Left center field. Enciarte and Peralta going back, and Peralta on the warning track makes the catch. Spangenberg put a good drive into left center field, but it's tracked down for the second out of the inning.
Check out the swing of Corey Spangenberg going the other way. De La Rosa, what is it? It's a fastball. Just underneath it a little bit. Watch the barrel of the bat travel, kind of uppercut swing. Caught it a little bit too far out front. Therefore, underneath it for the fly ball to left, but still traveled quite a ways.
Everybody likes to talk about Colorado, the way the ball travels there, a mile high. This ballpark, the second highest elevation-wise in baseball. Matt Kemp takes a 96-mile-per-hour fastball, strike one. A little bit of a slow week and a half or so for Matt Kemp, but an RBI double and a run scored yesterday. 34 hits is tied for 5th in the National League, and Yasmani Tomas can't make the play over at third base. Never routine with him, apparently, at the hot corner. He's a little bit of a project defensively.
Olay. You're going to give him a base hit on that? Wow. I mean, I'm all for Matt Kemp to get knocks. But I'll tell you what in the Roger Dorn was going on over there at third base? That was straight Corbin Burns in Major League. I thought that was a makeable play.
Tomas began the year AAA with the Reno Aces. He was playing mostly outfield. And he gets called up. They've got an injury. He's over at third and made a couple of errors. He's had a couple of tough plays as Justin Upton takes high ball one.
Okay, squared up, ball hit. Oh.
You don't want to see any of that Olay nonsense. Justin Upton, a former Diamondback, great numbers against Arizona in 15 games since he left the Snakes. A .377 average, 5 homers, 12 RBIs. And yeah, playing against your former team, that's got to feel good.
You just square it up here. Center field, right center field, opposite field. It's going to go.
Time called with a runner on first and 2 outs. As you have seen, Justin Upton, Matt Kemp have provided a ton of firepower for the Padres this year, and in this ballpark on a night like this, you could see some special stuff. 1-0 is fouled back to the screen, and he took a big rip at that fastball from De La Rosa.
That is one of the healthiest cuts that I've seen this year so far as Yangervis Solarte waits on deck. This is real speed, folks. Watch this. When you lose your balance a little bit, that's okay, because he's under control, very firm, very aggressive, but yet under control through the swing.
De La Rosa checks on Kemp, who gets back at the last moment. Kemp, Upton both done a nice job stealing bases, picking their spots so far this year. It's an element of the Padre offensive attack. Melvin Upton Jr. in the house, been rehabbing his injured foot.
Yeah, welcome, Melvin.
Padres complex in Peoria, just what, about half hour from here, 35 minutes. 1-1 is a strike. Took something off. 1-2 to Justin Upton.
Well, mark that down in your little ledger if you keep track of the umpires. Chad Fairchild with the high called strike there on that breaking ball. And according to our Fox Tracks brought to you by Honda, it's a strike. We've got no problem with that.
One-two to Upton. Fisted back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Upton homered twice against the Diamondbacks in the series back at Petco. That included a game winner in the 8th inning of the final game of that series off of Randall Delgado. A 3-2 Padre win. He broke the tie with a laser beam shot out to left. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So De La Rosa comes back and strikes out Justin Upton after his third baseman was unable to make the play. Arizona coming up against OD.
Espana has to go to the back slope of the mound to field it, but he gets him.
'28-year-old Odrisamer Despaigne making his 3rd start of the season and his 7th appearance. He'll be facing Chip Hale's Arizona Diamondbacks. Their lineup brought to you by Hyundai. Ender Inciarte is turning into a Padre killer. Keep an eye on the leadoff man, Paul Goldschmidt. .340 average, one of the best players in the National League. For all of the troubles Tomas has had defensively, you know, he can swing the bat. And the Diamondbacks trying to figure some things out in the bottom of their lineup, particularly at that catcher position. Despaigne ready, and the left-handed hitting Inciarte takes a first pitch, called strike, 0-1. See the overall numbers for Ender Inciarte so far this season. In the April series at Petco, 3 doubles, a triple, scored 3 times, drove in 4 runs. And that was just in 2 games.
Yeah, the on-base percentage creeping up and causes havoc on those base paths. You can see what type of hitter he is as Chip Hale, the manager for the Diamondbacks, on the Throwback Thursday.
These are the uniforms that the Snakes wore from 1998 when they came into the National League until 2006. Their first Throwback Thursday of the year.
A couple of factors looking at Despaigne, as they have a Mark Grace fan, and it looks like a Craig Counsell fan also right there. The velocity of the fastball tonight from Odrisamer.
Inciarte fouls that one back.
He can get about 94, 95. He can sneak it up on you. Very rarely, but It's almost like he adds and subtracts with that and becomes a different pitch.
Last 3 times we've seen Despaigne on the mound, it's been out of the bullpen. Started against the Diamondbacks on April 14th. That one's hit in the air. Left field, Justin Upton. 1 away. So the Padre left fielder making the catch. Here's the rest of the Padre defense, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Upton is in left. Hey, look, there's Will Myers in center field. Matt Kemp in right. Solarte at third. Spangenberg at second. Derek Norris back behind the plate after Austin Hedges made his first big league start yesterday afternoon in San Francisco.
Believe me, Austin Hedges on the bench for the Padres. He's taken in a lot of information, talking to everybody on that bench.
Mark Trumbo, the big right fielder, takes outside 1-0. Former Angel drove in 3 runs in the first game of the Diamondbacks doubleheader yesterday in Denver. They swept the twin bill from the Rockies. What a miserable couple of days for those 2 teams. They were rained out 2 straight days at Coors Field. Played a doubleheader yesterday, and they got to make up another as that one is hammered to left field, and you can forget about it. Mark Trumbo deep to left, his 4th home run of the season, and the Diamondbacks strike in the first.
Well, you looked at it like it was an off-speed pitch out of there. Was it a changeup? Yes, it was. A 1-0 changeup to Trumbo, up, elevated. And watch where he catches this one. Out in front, keeping his hands back just enough. Speeding up his bat as well on that changeup. Doesn't mean you can't throw him one. It was just bad location.
Now Despaign's got to deal with Paul Goldschmidt. High fives for Trumbo, who drove in the only run against Despaigne that the Diamondbacks got back in April. An RBI double. Tags him here in the first inning as Goldschmidt takes high outside, 1-1.
Well, Trumbo also hitting well at home last 9 games. 406 average. He pads that. One tough out right here for Paul Goldschmidt. 340 average. He's Mr. Everything here. Mr. Offense, right? For the Diamondbacks.
Leads Arizona in all 3 Triple Crown categories. And you think he's a legitimate Triple Crown threat?
Absolutely, no question about it, because he can hit for average. Talk about a kid who uses the whole field. Power to all fields, foul pole to foul pole for the guy they call Goldie.
Hits that one well to right field. Matt Kemp going back and shy of the warning track. Makes the catch for the second out of the inning. All right, let's take a look at the keys to the game tonight, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers. What are you looking for?
Well, keep Goldie under locks. And the first at bat, they've done just that. Despaigne got in on him, fly ball to right, and stay hot in the desert. In the last game in San Francisco, pounded out 9 runs, 16 hits. They left 14 on. That's a good thing, bad thing, right? When you win big, you can leave 20 on. It doesn't matter. But multiple base runners, so stay hot in downtown Phoenix.
Everybody was in on it yesterday offensively. That's exactly what they needed against the Giants after those 2 shutout losses. So 2 outs, nobody aboard, and David Peralta tries to bunt his way on. 0-1 to the Arizona left fielder. 3 homers, 11 RBIs for Peralta. 2 of those runs batted in came in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday.
You saw that average at 250-ish, but he's hit 313 the last 7 games.
First time in his 3 starts that Despaigne is allowed a run in the first inning. Talked about how the ball really jumps out of this place when they've got those panels open in the outfield, the roof open. That was a Trum bomb, though, as this one is rolled foul outside of first. 1-2.
Such a different feeling when everything's open here at Chase Field.
Expecting beautiful weather all weekend. Might be able to keep it open the whole time. 1-2 to Peralta is in the dirt. 2-2 from Despaigne. As a starter so far this year, Odrisamer 2-0 with a 1.98 ERA. That doesn't even count the perfect 4 2/3 innings of relief.
That's right.
When he came in for Ian Kennedy in the home opener.
It was a 1-0 changeup out of the hand of Despaigne in bad location. He wanted it down and away. Trumbo is a big, strong kid, gets extended. You hang the changeup anywhere and it's going to fly. That's a mistake, and that's a mistake being capitalized on by Mark Trumbo.
Despaigne trying to finish off Peralta, and the count's full, 3-2.
One of those starts for Despaigne, right? The last one in Colorado, where he went 6 2/3. He has passed the test of pitching where the ball flies. If he can do it in Colorado, he can do it here in Arizona.
Peralta lines that one to center field. Myers coming over. Upton coming over. Falls in front of the left fielder. 2-out single for David Peralta. Second hit here in the first inning for the Diamondbacks. And Yasmani Tomas going to come to the plate with an opportunity to try and make up for that tough defensive play in the top of this inning.
Sounded like Peralta broke his bat right there. Derek Norris looked like he was set up inside. He didn't really have that solid sound off the sweet spot.
Counts the same. Tomas, nice numbers here early on. Made his big league debut at Petco April 15th. Grounded out as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning that night. His name, of course, was connected to the Padres throughout much of the offseason. Ended up signing with Arizona on December 8th. A couple of Cubans, Odrisamer Despaigne and Yasmani Tomas. And that one's lined to right but foul.
The scouting report, and I'm sure, Jesse, you talked to some people as well in spring training as we take a look at the Cuban-born big leaguers. Everything Tomas hit in spring training was to the right side of second base bag. He didn't pull the ball, they said. And did you see where that foul ball went? Right down the right field line.
Oftentimes you hear, coaches, hitting coaches, managers say they love seeing guys go the other way. You get concerned when they become full happy.
Wondering how he would react on a good fastball, the inside part of the plate. Would he be able to muscle that off, or would he get jammed? Would it be a weak roller?
Despaigne's ahead of him, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He'll chase that high fastball up. That one's just up a little bit too much.
Two to Tomas, and a ground ball, base hit to the left side. He pulled it through, and back-to-back singles with 2 outs for Arizona in the bottom of the first.
And looking at that pitch, you know why I think he pulled that ball? It was a big looping curveball that was middle in, speeding up his bat, enabling him to get it out in front and pull it through that left side of the infield.
Diamondbacks having some success here in the bottom of the first. 3rd hit against Despaigne.
Look at the glove of Norris. He wants it down and away, right? That one's up. It's middle. Yeah, speeds up the bat for the base hit. Hey, there's 2 outs. You kept him in the yard. Now there's a force at any base.
And Chris Owings has been struggling. Just 1 for his last 12. The Arizona second baseman takes a swing and fouls back the first pitch. 0-1. We've talked a lot in the first month or so of the season about the Padres' success scoring runs in the first inning. Arizona, same kind of deal. 20 runs scored in the first this year. That's tied for 3rd in all of Major League Baseball. Line the other way, foul. 0-2.
He's got to get that breaking stuff down. He's got to make an adjustment.
We talk about the breaking balls in Colorado, how they're tougher to throw. Same kind of situation here?
No question about it. I think that's a great point. We talk about pitchers in spring training, and sure, it's only May 7th, but spring training was over a month ago. Still the same type of atmosphere here, right? Very dry, not a lot of humidity. Got to keep it down.
Owings fouls it back. Padres, of course, spend over 6 weeks in the Phoenix area. getting ready for the start of the season. Back now for a long weekend. 26 pitch inning so far for Despaigne. Checks back on Peralta a couple of times. The 0-2 to Owings in the dirt. Norris has it scoot away, and both runners are going to advance. Peralta ends up at third. Tomas at second as Despaigne bounced that one in to Derek Norris.
Well, with 2 strikes, he wants to go out of the zone, maybe expand that strike zone to Chris Owings. It was a slider and a good secondary lead for any runner. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to be quick. As soon as you see daylight, bang. If you've got a good secondary lead, you get that free 90 feet.
So now 2 men in scoring position for Owings, who's still behind in the count. A ball and 2 strikes. Despaigne delivers, and the ball goes to the backstop. It took a big hop. Norris is not going to be able to make a throw. Peralta crosses the plate. I think they're going to appeal to see if he swung. At least Despaigne was asking for it, and apparently the first base umpire, Jim Joyce, said he did not.
Oh, well, far front, the barrel of the bat goes forward. Well, let's go to, you know what? Derek, I think, anticipated that ball to break or bounce in the dirt. Looked like it was a catchable ball. It looked like he was anticipating that ball to bounce, and they are going to rule that a pass ball.
Ball 2, pass ball, as you see Norris saying that was on him. Now a 2-2 count. Tomas on third, and another run in for the Diamondbacks in what has turned into a very eventful bottom of the first. Congrats. A home run, couple of singles, a wild pitch, a pass ball, and now a fly ball. Kemp coming over, giving a look, and he runs out of room. Not a ton of space. Over on the right side. Closed captioning for tonight's game brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel.
The one thing I would say early on with Odrisamer on the mound, I don't like it when he underestimates or doesn't throw his fastball enough. You know what I'm saying? He's got a good fastball. If he can spot it.
8th pitch of the at bat, and a big looping Ephus that misses high and tight. Ball 3.
Once again, a high off-speed pitch, enough out of the zone to where Owings is not going to offer at it. He's got to get that down. Believe me, if he can spot his fastball like a lot of pitchers at 92, 93, he is going to have some success. I think sometimes pitchers think you got to maybe trick him.
Owings hits that one through for a base hit. RBI single for Chris Owings. He drives in his 8th run of the 2015 season, and the Diamondbacks now lead 3-0 in the bottom half of the first inning. 3 straight 2-out singles.
Remember the success of throwing a fastball. It's on the corners and down. That one was right down the middle. Pitching coach Darren Balsley of the Padres out to have a chat. He's missing. That's the summary this early on in the ball game. Bad location.
All the Arizona hits going to left field. The homer by Trumbo and the 2-out singles from Peralta, Tomas, and Owings. 2 outs, runner on first, and the catcher Tuffy Gosawish. First pitch swinging in the air left field. Upton coming over, not going to get there, and it drops down in no man's land. Owings was running hard with 2 outs. He's going to try and score. The throw from Upton not in time. 4-0 Arizona. The throw from Upton just a little bit out in front of the plate, maybe a little bit late. And the Diamondbacks add another with 2 outs here in the first.
Well, you saw that play developing as soon as this ball was hit. Two-seam fastball inside, elevated, goes to which gets jammed. And the runner, Chris Owings, he knows that ball's not squared up. He's got pretty decent speed, and with 2 outs off of the crack of the bat, he doesn't even break stride. Andy Green, the third base coach, sends him for the 4th run.
Yet another man in scoring position for the Diamondbacks as the 8th guy to come to the plate stands in here in the bottom of the 1st. The shortstop, Nick Ahmed. Struggling at the plate so far this year. Last June, he collected his first major league hit against Odrisamer Despaigne. Grounds this one back to O'D, who has it go off his glove, recovers, throws, and the side is retired. Arizona, though, comes up with 4 runs in the bottom of the 1st. Diego Lexus dealer. By Petco, what we feed them matters. And by Sony, the leader of 4K Ultra HD. Look at Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, Arizona. First of 4 between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Arizona gets 4 runs on 5 hits in the bottom half of the 1st off of Odrisamer Despaigne. Solarte, Norris, and Alonso coming up here in the 2nd inning. Mark Trumbo, solo shot. A bomb to left, and then 4 straight 2-out hits for the Diamondbacks to add 3 more. De La Rosa delivers strike 1 to Yangervis Solarte.
Got a lot of catching up to do.
Certainly a lineup that is capable of it despite the offensive struggles. The first 2 games in San Francisco, we've seen what they've been able to do, and coming from behind, no problemo so far for San Diego. Bud Black's guys, talented and resilient.
Big key this inning, at least get 1.
Solarte takes, strike 3 called. Close pitch.
Yeah.
Chad Fairchild, the home plate umpire, ringing him up. Let's take another look.
It's a fastball away. Goes to which frames it. Now let's check out the tracks. Got to have the tracks, huh? Low and away off the plate.
1 gone for Derek Norris. Back in the starting lineup after his day off yesterday. Takes the first pitch fastball inside. 1-0. Good numbers so far this season for Norris. Leads the Padres with 11 doubles. Watched Austin Hedges go 1 for 4 with an RBI single and a sacrifice fly yesterday.
Hey, part of being a pitcher, having a bad first inning, you got to erase that from your mind, right? Go back out there, throw up a 0, a quick inning.
Are you saying he's not thinking about his at bat coming up?
Yeah. Hey, if he comes up with runners on base, doing everything he can to try to play a little game of pepper.
3-1 to Norris as the 97-mile-per-hour fastball misses from De La Rosa.
See why the Diamondbacks like this kid, De La Rosa. Live arm. Tops out about 97.
Yonder Alonso waits next. De La Rosa acquired this offseason from Boston. Part of a 4-player trade that sent Wade Miley to the Northeast. Big swing and a miss, 3-2.
I think De La Rosa likes his old heater. 21 of 22 pitches tonight so far. All fastballs.
Wow.
Give him the old number 1, Ricky. Hey, if you could spot it, right, and you pump it 96, why not?
You can see he's been around the plate for the most part this at bat. The 3-2 hammered foul. Took something off that time.
That looked like his changeup. Mentioned it earlier. He will throw the 4-seam fastball. He'll throw the changeup most of the time. Slider, sinker, curveball, rarely. He'll mix in the slider once in a while, but sinker, curveball, very rare.
Began his big league career with the Dodgers back in 2011. Did make a start against the Padres as a member of the team. You mentioned his changeup. You know who taught it to him?
Pedro Martinez.
Great story, right?
Yeah.
His grandma was Pedro and Ramon Martinez's nanny back in the Dominican Republic. Norris hits that one well out to center field, and Ciarte chasing it down. Not going to get there. One hop up over the 413 side, and Derek Norris comes up with his 12th double of the season. He is Mr. Two-Bagger. Came into tonight with the 3rd most doubles in the National League.
Fastball again, down and taking it the other way. If he tries to pull that ball at 95, 96, not going to do you any good. Good sound. You can see also Ciarte was playing on the shortstop side of second base. No chance for that one. Boy, that's some good hitting right there.
Only Matt Carpenter with more doubles in the National League this year. You notice the Cardinals at the top of all these leaderboards?
It's unbelievable. That's why they're at where they are, right?
Yeah.
Like 21-6 or something like that.
Craziness. What a start for St. Louis.
20-7. 20-7 for the Redbirds.
Alonso hits that one well to left. Is it going to stay fair? No. They got those sneaky corners here at Chase Field, both in left and in right, where the bullpens are. Kind of hook one in there.
Yeah.
330 to left down the line, just 335 to right. And it juts out a little bit. Big swing and a miss there. Back on April 13th, Petco Park. Yonder Alonso, Ruby De La Rosa, long ball.
That looked like an off-speed pitch. So it'll be interesting to see. I think that was a changeup, the home run. That last pitch was 95 on the inside part of the plate from De La Rosa.
That was the first and only home run for Yonder so far this season. Into the beach at Petco. 0-2, fouled away.
Is that 98? Wow. That's muy caliente.
21 pitches of 95 or higher. And he's thrown 27.
And usually before this game, he's throwing his fastball 54% of the time.
Different approach against San Diego. Let's see how long it lasts as Alonso hits that one shallow left center field, and Peralta, the left fielder, eventually makes the catch. That's the second out of the inning.
Hey, Jesse, did you know that you could be getting rewarded for the things you already do as a Padres fan?
I did.
Buying tickets, entering the ballpark, and paying for concessions. And you can do it all from the convenience of your phone. Join Compadres Fan Rewards to start earning points today. Visit Padres.com/compadres to learn more and sign up today.
I wonder if he's a compadre.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, anybody who wears Padres gear is a compadre of mine.
I mean, if you signed up for the program. But I agree. They're all friends. Nice to see some Padre blue here in the desert. Alexi Amarista starting to break out of it maybe a little bit offensively as he bends away from a 96-mile-per-hour offering from Ruby De La Rosa.
Be interesting to see with all the fastballs these Padre hitters have been watching. Second time around, if they square that up, or if De La Rosa tried to trick them, right? The second time around. Haven't gotten to that point yet, though.
Amarista hitting 8th in the order. Takes the 1-0. Another fastball and another one above 95.
That is firm. That's a heater at 96, and tonight 89% fastballs. Breaking ball coming in place, and changeup show.
High and outside again at 96. 2 balls and a strike. De La Rosa with the Red Sox last year, 4-8, a 4.43 ERA. They were obviously comfortable parting with him this offseason. But boy, if you can bring that kind of heat, you're going to get opportunities.
Yeah.
Now with his 3rd major league team. Amarista takes outside, 3-1. That one just 95.
Yeah, and you know what? When you look at his ledger over the course of his career, the last couple of years, the walks have been down. So that's a good sign. To me, that's a sign of a guy trusting his fastball. I mean, let's face it, you throw 96, 97, why not challenge these guys? Rather than trying to nitpick.
Derek Norris had a 1-out double. Now 2 gone. He's still at second base, and a 3-1 to Amarista. Fouled back in a full count.
The 19 games last year in Boston, he threw 101.2 innings, walked 35, struck out 74. I'll take that. A lot of hits, though. More hits than innings pitched.
Had a rough start his last time out, as Amarista taps this one past him, but the shortstop Ahmed is there. He makes the play, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. Padres can't cash in on the Norris double as we go to the bottom of the 2nd.
You know, he brings an element to our team with the speed, the stolen base. Stolen bases in his game, and he's playing good defense too. Made a couple of really good plays yesterday in San Francisco. And, you know, he's raised his average close to 300. So there's a chance, to use your words, we might roll with Spangy for a while. Yeah, I might roll with him.
That's Padres manager Bud Black talking about Corey Spangenberg. And, you know, he has a rule if you hit a home run, you play the next day. Well, someone asked him, hey, if you have a career day at the plate, do you get to play the next day with his career-high 3 hits? But he said, I like that rule. So he went with them. He's starting today. I interviewed Corey during our pregame show today. Asked him who his mentor's been in the clubhouse. He said Clint Barmas. Their lockers are next to each other. And he's followed him, watched his routine, how he goes about his day. That's who he's looked up to during his time in the big leagues this season. Thanks,
Chris. That's a good choice, Clint Barmas.
That is an unbelievable gentleman right there on the left. And on the right, Jed Jerko. But Clint Barmas, wow, what a true veteran player.
Tough play for Solarte at third base, and they got him. The pitcher, De La Rosa, with a little squibbler up the third base line. And Solarte, who's been playing all over the diamond, makes a great play at third base.
Hey, that's a do-or-die play because it's dead perfectly, and with the way Solarte was playing, one swift move from Laredo down under. And you know what? It doesn't stop there because it's got to be a good throw and then a good stretch by Alonso, and they just get him. I'm always amazed at a third baseman who consistently makes that play. It's a nice one right there by Jan Hervis.
Do or die. He did. So 1 out for the leadoff man, Inciarte. Despaigne trying to bounce back from a first inning in which he allowed 4 runs on 5 hits. Amazingly, though, he got Inciarte. See the numbers against the Padres this year. Flew out to left field to open the game. Sprays this one foul down the left field line, 1-1. I like that from Buddy. Roll with Spangy.
I like it. I smell a T-shirt coming. Right?
Inciarte fouls off another pitch, 1-2. Can't be easy for guys like Spangenberg and Solarte. They're playing second base one day, third base, first base at times for Solarte. I mean, look, you're in the big leagues, you're getting to play. That's obviously the primary thing for everyone, but it can't be as simple as just going out there and knowing where you're supposed to be. Chance at second for Spangenberg. Nice play. Gets Inciarte, 2 gone.
Hey, that's not an easy play either. Solarte, Spangenberg, left side, right side. 1 fish, 2 fish.
Right field.
Hey, he's got a circle in front of that ball, so he catches it in front of him rather than a backhand. And then you kind of got to throw behind yourself because your momentum's going away from that.
A little bit across the body.
Yeah.
Looked like a nice transfer, too. Kind of just flipped it from his glove to his bare hand. Got to roll with Spangy. 2 outs, nobody on. Mark Trumbo homered his first time up, and he takes low outside.
Interesting to see how Odrisamer Samir pitches to Trumbo after hitting the 1-0 changeup to left field for a home run.
Left it up. Trumbo didn't miss it. His 2-hole is new for Mark Trumbo. Went there yesterday for the first time. Homered. Tried again tonight. Homered. May see him in the 2-hole again tomorrow. See if Chip Hale rolls with Trumbo in the 2-hole.
I see where you're going.
Big, strong guy. You remember him with the Angels. Takes a strike.
Yeah, how about that back in the day? Trumbo Trout, remember? Thought that there was going to be one of the big 1-2 punches. And you see the Diamondbacks at home. Hey, when this kid, or when they homer, 6-0. Homerless, winless.
Good synopsis. 2-2 after he fouls that one off. An all-star with the Angels back in 2012. Second year as a Diamondback. Love to face Goldschmidt leading off the third with nobody aboard. Couple of ground outs for the first 2 outs, and that one just misses. 3-2. Love watching Despaigne on the mound.
Oh, it's fun to watch. He's fun to watch. Hey, and don't think because he's so lax out there and relaxed that he doesn't care. This kid cares. Big time. Talking to Darren Ballsy, he wants to learn. He wants to get better. It's just the way he is with his mannerisms.
3-2, foul back out of play.
He's a competitor.
First at bat for Mark Trumbo. Changeup was up. Went over all the people.
And the off-speed pitch, we see this all the time. If it's up in the zone, it's not going to break like it should.
3-2 and a little roller to the left side. Solarte had trouble getting it out of his mitt and couldn't make the play. Very close at first. Solarte a little bit of a trouble with the transfer. And credit to Trumbo, not the fastest guy, hustling up the line. And very, very close at first base.
Hold all tickets, because with the little transfer right there, or can't find the handle, I think this might be a reviewable play, a challenge. Little juggle right there. And this is going to be challenged by Bud Black.
For the moment, it is an error on Yangervis Solarte. You make the call.
I got out. Oh, yeah, he's out.
Jim Joyce, the crew chief and first base umpire. Heard Jim Joyce talk about instant replay, and of course, one of the all-time classiest umpires, and he's known for that call at first base. Everybody knows Armando de Galarraga in Detroit, the perfect game that wasn't, final out. A little bit less dramatic of a situation here, second inning of a 4-0 game, but he wants to get it right. And I've heard him discuss it. He loves the fact that we've got instant replay.
Absolutely. Well, even with that little juggle, it gets it over there in time.
So Buddy Black has challenged the play, and he's out. So Solarte makes up for the bobble at third base. With a strong throw across the diamond, he just gets Trumbo, and it's a bounce back 1-2-3 inning for Despaigne, who will lead off the top of the third. The first against Odrisamer Despaigne, who bounced back with a 14-pitch frame in the second, and now he gets to lead off here in the third. 1 for 9 on the season, a 111 batting average. Came up with his first career hit a couple of weeks ago at Coors Field in Denver. And if you somehow have not seen the highlight, don't think it was some sort of lucky Coors Field, you know, big outfield bloop or anything like that. He smashed it to right.
Hit it on a sweet spot. Going the other way with intent. Knob first, hands through, barrel to follow. Textbook.
Takes a 94-mile-per-hour fastball from De La Rosa, who He's taking a little bit off against the opposing pitcher. 1-2.
Yeah, if he's going to get fastballs, I'd be heads up over the Padre dugout. With everybody watching intently.
Big swing and a miss, and that's the third strikeout of the night for De La Rosa. He takes round 1, but you know Despaignier's coming back.
You know, if I'm Justin Upton or Matt Kemp, he's coming back to the dugout. I'm saying, you got to return those shoes, dude. That suit's going back.
Took him shopping in San Francisco this week. That was the bet. If Despaignier got a hit, those guys were going to take him shopping. And if he didn't get a hit over the course of the season, we found out on SD Live with Mike Pomerantz, he was going to have to shave his eyebrows. Will Myers holds up, takes a pitch down. Grounded out to first base, his first time up. Good numbers against the Diamondbacks in a week's worth of games in his career. 3 hits yesterday for Myers in the win over San Francisco, including an RBI triple in the 7th.
Notice something here this at bat against Myers. First 2 pitches.
Softer.
Yeah. 2 sliders.
First time through, almost exclusively fastballs from Ruby De La Rosa. 34 of his first 38 pitches were heaters. There's a fastball. 2-1.
And that's paint right there. 2-0 fastball right on the outside corner. This kid's got a live arm. And the second time through, the proof is in the pudding. A 302 average. The opponent's hit off De La Rosa.
3-1 to Myers as the changeup misses low.
Why would you throw a guy a 2-1 changeup when you're up 4-0 in the 3rd inning?
See what he does on 3-1. Fastball called strike.
That was a rhetorical question, right? I mean, you already knew the answer to it, right?
All of my questions for you are rhetorical. Hey, what kind of pudding is the pudding that the proof is in?
Rice.
It is, okay. Pops it up to shallow right. Trumbo is coming on and in foul territory. He can't make the catch.
Did he take that one off the knee or the leg?
He did the feet first slide on that warning track. And we saw Trumbo have a tough defensive moment at Petco last month. Looks like it might have gotten him on the ankle.
Yeah, this foot doesn't bounce. It gets him on the foot. Left foot. That's a long run for Trumbo.
Been around for a few years and still not entirely sure where his home is from a defensive standpoint. But he can hit.
Yeah, he's not really the best outfielder, but as you mentioned, if you could drive in runs, right?
They'll find a spot for you. 3-2 is a fastball outside at 97. That's ball 4 and a 1-out base runner. Will Myers reaching for the first time tonight.
There are just 30 days left before the FIFA Women's World Cup begins as Alex Morgan leads the U.S. Women's National Team against the best teams in the world in search of their 3rd World Cup championship. The only place you can see the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup is Fox Sports 1, beginning in 30 days.
Corey Spangenberg flew out deep to left field his first time up. Making his 7th start of the season, 5th time at second base. He's got speed and he bunts that one out in front of the plate. Gozawish has to hurry. And a 1-out sacrifice, I guess, technically from Spangenberg, but you know he's trying to reach there and try for the bunt hit.
See, that would be one of my rule changes if I were commissioner. You have to show yourself and sacrifice yourself, right? If you're trying for a base hit, I think it should be a 1-3 or a 2-3, right? Whatever the case is. Because for a hitter, it's a no-lose, right?
Yeah, you don't get charged with an at-bat.
And if you beat it out, you get a knock.
I think the only tough thing could be, you know, sometimes interpreting it. It's another judgment for the official score to have to make. There are obvious ones each way, but So Myers now on second base, 2 gone, and Matt Kemp at the plate. Big swing.
You know what I picture with the hard-throwing De La Rosa and Matt Kemp up at the plate? I picture a ball struck to the right center field part of this ballpark and getting wet in the pool. Break up that party out there.
You know, Kemp's got power to that part of the yard. Partied in that pool too, I guess. Matt Kemp, outstanding numbers against the Diamondbacks. Only Bonds, Pelton, and Adrian more home runs in their career against Arizona. Brian Giles, right there as well.
All those guys playing within the division, right? Bonds, Giants, Rockies, Gonzalez, Padres, Dodgers.
That's usually how that works. Get more opportunities. De La Rosa ahead of him, 0-2. Do you like playing the 18 games, 19 games against division opponents, or would you change that too?
I would change that too. I would go back to the unbalanced schedule or the balanced schedule?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, to where you go to out of your division 2 times.
Balanced schedule.
Balanced schedule. Thank you. Because back in the day, you know, you go to Chicago twice, you go to St. Louis twice, you go to Cincinnati twice.
1-2 to Kemp, swing and a miss. So De La Rosa gets out of it with a changeup to Matt Kemp. That's his 4th strikeout, 4-0 Arizona.
High fly ball left field, hit well. That ball is out of here. That's the way to break it. Oh my, that's wonderful. Chris Robinson, a lifetime minor leaguer, a hockey player from Canada, loves baseball. He has his first hit, and it's a home run.
Great moment in Padres history, September of 2013. 9 years in the minor leagues with 5 different organizations. Catcher Chris Robinson, his first big league hit, a pinch hit, 3-run home run. A 29-year-old rookie. He'd retire at the end of the season, but providing a lasting Padre memory.
Tell you what, that was one of the greatest nights for anyone in the ballpark to experience, and knowing that story. What a sweet kid, great attitude, and to do that, that was special to watch.
Paul Goldschmidt leading off for Arizona. Diamondbacks up 4-0 on Odrisamer Despaigne. Who had a tough first inning. 4 runs on 5 hits, but then a nice quick 1-2-3 second, and yeah, he's hot. You talk about Robinson, by the way, that great home run all those years in the minor leagues. The Diamondbacks have a guy, very similar kind of situation, Danny Dorn, who just came up this season, and same kind of deal. 9 years in the minors, 10 years in the minors, 1,000 games in the minor leagues, and finally an opportunity at the big league level. No relation to Roger.
Oh, I was just about to ask. Yeah. Third baseman from the Cleveland Indians.
.30 to Goldschmidt. Dangerous place to be for Despaigne. And he takes strike one.
You know, there was a little exchange between this before this inning started between Despaigne and see how he's in contact with the rubber, and then he went to his mouth. You're not supposed to do that. You can be off the rubber and go to your mouth. That's one of the rule changes. What, just 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
The old rules stated that you had to go off of the dirt. You had to be on the grass to go to your mouth to get some moisture on your fingertips. Well, they changed that rule. It's kind of like a speed up type thing. You cannot be in contact with the pitcher's plate. You can be on the dirt and go to your mouth. He was in contact with the pitcher's plate, and it is called that in the rule book.
Yes, it is. Despaigne started out 3 balls, no strikes on Goldschmidt. He's fought back to run the count full.
Staying out of the heart of the plate, working it in, working it out.
Not a bad idea against this guy. 3-2 is hit well.
Oh my!
Very well. Left field. Home run, Paul Goldschmidt. His 8th homer of the season. And the bottom of the 3rd off to a big start for the Diamondbacks. Second long ball allowed by Despaigne tonight. 5-0 Arizona.
Well, it was a full count, and we know that Goldschmidt can go foul pole to foul pole, right center field. Watch how quickly he gets his hands in and elevates that ball. He wants it down and away, but Derek Norris, wow, he talked about missing big time. Quick to it, keeping it fair. All quadrants of the plate. You got to be careful with Paul Goldschmidt.
Only Giancarlo Stanton has more RBIs in the National League than Paul Goldschmidt. And strike one to David Peralta, who singled and scored back in the 1st inning. Two-one.
You know, we talk about fastball location all the time, and you know what? Yeah, it's repetitive, but you know what, though? You look at the good pitchers throughout Major League Baseball through the course of time, 8 out of 10 times they're going to throw that heater. Now watch where Derek Norris is. Look at where his glove is. He's going to end up right there as you roll it. And watch Goldschmidt get on top of it. Enough. Quick enough to keep it fair. Get those hands through for the home run.
Peralta takes strike 2, and you know, when we had the Fox tracks up during that at bat, you could see, you know, he's staying out of all those areas that Goldschmidt can do real damage with, and then he misses on the last pitch, and a hitter like that's going to make you pay for it. 3-2, and Peralta goes the other way. Upton coming over, not going to get there. Plays it well off the wall. Peralta digging for second, and Upton's throw's not in time. Home run and a double right out of the chute for the Snakes here in the 3rd.
Well, one of those nights early on for Odrisamer Despaigne. With Peralta out in front a little bit, even though that's not the prettiest looking swing, that's the way the outfield is playing. He plays pepper with that left field line.
Despaigne has been outstanding in his career at Petco Park. He has struggled.
There's some of that rice pudding right there.
All kinds of proof. Here's strike one as Darren Balsley and Buddy Black look on. Despaigne here at Chase Field, an ERA over 5 in 5 starts. Sorry, 5 starts in his career against the Diamondbacks. A couple here. 5 runs, 7 hits for the Diamondbacks. All 7 hits have gone to left field.
And you know, as a pitcher, as a reliever, just kind of thinking ahead here, you know, you're in the bullpen. If you're one of those guys for a long relief, you're kind of you know, you're kind of up out of your chair. You got the jacket off. You're up and about the bullpen, kind of maybe stretching a little bit, anticipating. And we have some action right there. Looks like Nick Vincent just kind of getting up a little bit. Because you never know, right? You have to be prepared.
There's a strikeout for Despaigne. Curveball to Yasmani Tomas. First out of the inning.
Second baseman, Chris Owen.
Despaigne, of course, was the long man. And he's in the rotation now. Brandon Morrow on the disabled list.
You know what? How about playing a mind game with Despaigne? Let's say he gets out of this inning. He goes in the dugout, right? And Ballfleet goes up to him, hey, we need you in relief now. Next year, you're gonna be long relief. You're gonna go start next inning.
First pitch swinging Owings. There's shallow right field. Spangenberg makes the catch, 2 away. Let's check in with Chris. She's down by the Padre dugout.
Hey, Jesse. Tim Fedorovich in the dugout today, as a couple guys have come over from the Peoria Sports Complex. There he is on the left. I chatted with him about his knee surgery. Tore his meniscus, had surgery on it during spring training. Started on the bike about 2 weeks ago and was joking with me, hey, I can actually go downstairs now. So it's the small things that count. Still expected to come back about midseason.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Tim Fedorovich came over with Matt Kemp in the Yasmani Grandal trade with the Dodgers. Padres, of course, make their spring home in Peoria, but all year that facility is used. Injured guys rehab there, that kind of thing. Tuffy Gozawish waits for the 0-1 pitch and swings out of his shoes. Strike 2.
Well, we saw Tim Fedorovich, and sitting next to the catcher is one of the nicest kids you'll ever want to meet, Corey Lukey, right there on his way back from surgery. We wish him well. Left-hander.
It's a great facility in Peoria. Fans obviously know about the ballpark there. Coming to spring training games, but the city of Peoria and the Padres do such a great job making it a first-class place for the Padres to use all year long. And the reality is, always going to have injuries. Melvin Upton Jr. sitting with that crew as well. Ball and 2 strikes to Tuffy Gozawish. And he holds up there on a pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Peralta on second, 2 gone. 1 run in for the Diamondbacks here in the third. A Paul Goldschmidt homer. 2-2, and that one's hit well to straightaway center field. Myers got a long way to go. He's not going to get there. That'll get another run home as Peralta crosses the plate. Second double of the inning for Arizona. Tuffy Gozawish drives in his 6th run of the season. 6-0 Snakes.
Well, a deep count, 2-2 to Tuffy Gozawish, and we've mentioned all night long that Odrisamer is just really struggling with location. Not even close on that one. 2-seamer rides up, middle, in. And the Diamondbacks taking some healthy swings on those mistakes. Big outfield there in right center and left center field.
Ahmed, the shortstop, breaks his bat, lines it to Amarista, who makes the catch. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. Couple more for Arizona, though. They lead OD 6-0. Thank you, Mike Pomerantz. Steve Finley. A-Rod getting it done one day after Willie Mays' 84th birthday. Breaks the tie with the Say Hey Kid. Upton, great numbers in the last week or so. Great numbers here at Chase Field. Great numbers against the Diamondbacks. So it's all lining up for him. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The A-Rod stuff is fascinating. It really is to me. Just a weird situation.
It is, and everybody's got an opinion on it. Hey, is he going to get that bonus?
That's another facet of the conversation. Yeah. Messy. Upton takes, but that one nips the outside corner. 2-2. First time through the order, it was almost exclusively fastballs from Ruby De La Rosa. Seen him mix in the off speed a little bit more. Second time around the order, that fastball is hit in the air right field. Trumbo coming over towards the line. He is not going to get there.
Hey, follow the Padres all season in 2015 with MLB.com at bat. You've got that app, Jesse?
I do. I use it every day.
I do too. The #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment and at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and much more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. You'll be able to check up on the comeback of the Padres tonight here in Arizona on that app.
You know what the nice thing is? If somebody weren't able to watch the game, they could pull up the app and they could see all our video highlights right there in the app. Upton chops the 2-2 foul. .308 career average here at Chase Field. 5 walks in the series against San Francisco, 4 of which came in yesterday's game. Hits that one well out to right center. Trumbo got a late start, but comes in and makes the catch. Upton lines out to right for the first out here in the top of the 4th.
Hey, good swing, right idea against the flamethrower De La Rosa.
Third baseman, Yankees Solarte.
Solarte struck out looking, leading off the 2nd inning. Padres with a pair of hits so far against Ruby De La Rosa. Matt Kemp, a single that went underneath the glove of the third baseman Yasmani Tomas with 2 outs in the 1st. And Derek Norris, a 1-out double in the 2nd. Diamondbacks got 4 runs in the 1st, and they added 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. De La Rosa faced the Padres back at Petco Park in April. Yangervis Solarte had an RBI single and an RBI double against him that night. Hits this one down the right field line for a base hit. Solarte digging out of the box and thinking extra bases. Trumbo lets it roll to him in right field. It's a double for Yangervis Solarte. His 5th 2-bagger of the season, and the Padres have their 3rd hit of the night.
Oh, he was quick to that baseball there.
Derek Norris.
Hit so hard in between Goldschmidt playing off the line, so that means he was really looking for that pitch in and topping it. No way that the Gold Glover Goldschmidt's going to get it. Got to find some way to chip away here. Maybe he'll start throwing those breaking balls and leave them in the zone, speed up the bats, right?
See the numbers with runners in scoring position for Norris. 12 for 26. 7th best average in all of baseball in these situations. Doubled his first time up. And he takes the curveball. 0-1. Slider?
I think you're right, Jess. Good call. Another one.
Nick Vincent has moved from stretching to throwing. 62 pitchers for Odrisamer Despaigne. 73 pitches for Odrisamer Despaigne in his 3 innings of work. And he's allowed 6 runs, including a couple of homers. 0-2 to Norris. Just missing at 98.
It's amazing. Ruby De La Rosa did not play organized baseball when he was growing up in the DR, Dominican Republic. Played a version of cricket called La Plaquita. So I'm sure he's a pretty good hitter, right?
Almost had an infield single his first time up. Nice play by Solarte. Tipped into the mitt of the catcher Gozawish. 5th strikeout for De La Rosa. 2 away. And it'll be left to Yonder Alonso.
He went with the fastball. And look at, he's getting the fastball out there. He's getting it out on that outside corner. Boy, power pitcher, power mechanics. A good finish from the young kid. Out in front. Really doesn't fall off a lot towards the first base side.
De La Rosa, like a lot of guys, trying to figure it out. He's got some Jekyll and Hyde to him, some good days, some bad days. He's lost his last couple of decisions. It was rough for him last time out, Friday night at the Dodgers. Took the loss, went just 5 innings and allowed 5 runs. Here tonight, so far, very good.
Yeah, when you're hitting your spots with your fastball and you're throwing a changeup for a first pitch strike, like that last pitch to Alonso, you're in a groove. Southland Technology, Fox Tracks, right at the knees. Outer third.
Solarte on second, 2 away. High and tight at 96. Despaign's allowed 6 runs on 8 hits. First of 4 between these two teams. High outside. Solarte was way off second base, but he gets back ahead of the tag of Nick Ahmed. Tuffy Gozawish showing off the arm a little.
Timing play. As soon as that ball gets to the catcher, not put in play, Ahmed sneaks behind. Gozawish just thrown to the target, just thrown to the base. Ahmed will be there.
Three balls and a strike to Alonso.
Hey Jesse, first time through the lineup for De La Rosa when he was out there 1 through 9, 89% fastball. Second time through, he's pulling the string a little more, 62% of the time. So relying on more of the off-speed stuff. Second time through the lineup.
You saw the numbers that guys have hit him much better the second time through, and so he's obviously recognized he needs to make an adjustment. And tonight the adjustment was throw a lot more fastballs early than he normally does, and then slow it down the second time through. Fouled back, and now a full count to Yonder Alonso with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Night has fallen at Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. Two to Alonso is outside, ball 4. 2-out walk. And Ruby De La Rosa, he has certainly had the speed, but he misses his spot there.
Well, now it's time to check Cholula Flamethrower. And with Ruby out there, 98.
What's that?
Hot sauce. Muy caliente.
See.
Coming in hot. Mike Harkey. Very animated pitching coach when he's out on the hill. I mean, look at him. He's using the hand signals. He's looking right into the eyes of De La Rosa. The guy's very passionate about his job right there. Mike Harkey. His son plays for the St. Louis Rams, right? Mike Harkey. I remember Mike telling me that, yeah.
Longtime coach for Joe Girardi, both with the Marlins and the Yankees. Now working with Chip Hale here in Phoenix. Amarista with 2 on and 2 outs. First pitch swinging, and he can't touch 95. 0-1. Grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Nice day yesterday for Amarista. Single, double in his first 3 at-bats. Drove in a pair. Inside. Ball 1. Jed Jerko's come out to the on-deck circle. If this thing keeps going.
Hey, Amarista can run into one once in a while, you know. Right?
1 home run so far this year.
You know, there's one at-bat that always sticks in my mind with Alexi Amarista. In Florida, off Nathan Eovaldi. Remember he tried to sneak a piece of cheese in on him? I think it was like a little cutter.
3rd game of the series in Miami last season.
Look at you.
Amarista's birthday, in fact.
Oh, my goodness. You're good. I just remember the home run. Because then something shiny appeared. But anyway, he could turn on the good fastball. That's my point.
Yeah.
So if he misses with one here, hey, you never know.
Marlins took the Friday and Saturday games of that series, and then Amarista with the big hit on Sunday to avoid the sweep.
You're unbelievable.
1-2 to Alexi. 98. Throwback Thursday in Arizona. Good day for the Randy Johnson jersey. 2-2. Amarista swings and misses. 6th strikeout for Ruby De La Rosa. Got Alexi to chase the high heat. Arizona still in control. Last night in Anaheim, Mariners and the Angels, they got this guy Trout, who plays in Anaheim. Oh my goodness, what a catch. Full extension in a big spot late in the game. Mike Trout, great diving catch in right center field. Fun time to be a baseball fan. Look at all these guys. They're very young, all of them. We're putting Austin Hedges in there, made his big league debut yesterday, but you've got some serious young stars. What, Jock Peterson had the 7 straight hits that were home runs. You know about all of these guys. I mean, there are some really exciting young players in Major League Baseball.
It's great for baseball, is it not? Not just having 1 or 2, but.
Pitcher De La Rosa against Despaigne takes strike 2.
Making big plays all the time, making the highlight reel.
Exciting, talented guys. They can all do different things. Yep. Trout, I guess, does everything.
It's just not one aspect of their game. You're absolutely right, Jesse.
A little half swing and a ground ball and a big hop to Spangenberg. De La Rosa 0 for 2. All right, so Mark, take a look at these young stars around Major League Baseball. Who do you think the youngest guy on this list is? And then we'll put them in order, youngest to oldest. But who do you think?
I know.
Okay.
And look at it is. It's Bryce Harper. He's still the youngest of all those young players. Still the youngest at 22 years and 203 days. This is what, 4th year in the big leagues? 4th full year?
I think it's like his 8th. No, but it feels like it, right?
It does. It really does.
Incredible. 1 out. The leadoff man, Inciarte's 0 for 2. 3-homer day yesterday for Bryce Harper. A couple of absolute bombs to right field. In Washington, Inciarte grounds that one right to yonder. A couple of quick outs for Despaigne, which is what he needs right about now.
78 pitches for Andres Murray, and he's gonna go out there and try to give you innings because you want to try to save those arms in the bullpen. This is in fact Bryce Harper's 4th year in the big leagues. Wow.
Not 8th.
No.
My bad. Two outs, nobody aboard. Mark Trumbo.
Well, the pitcher spot due up first next half inning for San Diego.
Shot to left for Trumbo in the first. Grounded out to third to end the 2nd inning. That was a play Buddy Black had to challenge. Takes that breaking ball to third. Solarte recovers, makes the play, and a 1-2-3 inning for Odrisamer Despaigne. We'll go to the 5th in Phoenix. 6-0 Snakes. Next 6-0. Odrisamer Despaigne looking like he is going to lead off tonight's game, presented in HD by Sony 4K. Jesse Agler, Mark Grant, Chris Budden with you from Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Despaigne has pitched 4 innings. 1-2-3 in the 2nd, 1-2-3 in the 4th, but he had trouble in the odd innings. Still going to hit here, leading off the top of the 5th. Facing Ruby De La Rosa, who delivers a 90-mile-per-hour fastball on the outside corner. 0-1. Mentioned Despaigne got the shopping trip for picking up the first big league hit. Takes outside. 1-1. And it's not over yet. Still one more leg of the shopping experience to cash in on. That'll happen in Texas with Andrew Cashner.
Oh, there you go. So it was Kemp, Upton, Cashner, right?
I believe so. Chops that one over the mound. Ahmed charging at shortstop, and he got him. Oh, Nick Ahmed is very good defensively. Who knows? Maybe a lesser shortstop, but that's hit number 2.
He's very good. In fact, the manager of the Reno Aces, the AAA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Phil Nevin, former Padre, said that Nick Ahmed is one of the better fielding shortstops that he has seen ever.
In his life?
In his life.
Wow.
And I said, Omar Vizquel? He goes, this guy's pretty good.
18 straight errorless games for Ahmed at shortstop.
That's the high praise from Phil Nevin.
You got all kinds of scouting reports.
Yeah.
Off speed to Myers. Drops in for a strike. 0-1. Will walked his last time up.
But people might be thinking, okay, why did Espana hit right there, right? Well, you're down 6-0. Your next off day is not till Monday. You got 4 games here in the desert, which, you know, you might need a lot of pitching, right? Now, it's not essentially waving the white flag, but, you know, a solo home run, if you put somebody up there, hits a home run, okay, now it's a 5-run lead. You want multiple base runners in a spot to where you're going to put a pinch hitter up there, right?
And they had Jerko on deck as a pinch hitter in the 4th if it got to that.
Right.
No, I agree with you. First and second, 2 outs last inning, and Amarista at the plate. Pitcher spot on deck, and Jerko was in the on-deck circle, but Amarista struck out. The inning ended, and you see if he can squeeze another inning pitching out of Despaigne. Myers to shortstop. More routine for Ahmed. Long throw. Wow. Good throw. 2 away.
See him back up on that ball. Played the big hop. Make up the difference with that arm that Nick Ahmed possesses. He could have charged that ball, but played it back. Watch him back up on this, okay? Out in front, right? He realizes the big hop. I'm backing up on it. Quick transfer. Good arm. Gets him by 2 steps.
Couple of assists in the inning for Ahmed. Corey Spangenberg flew out deep to left his first time up. Credited with the sacrifice bunt last time. Ruby De La Rosa cruising. Just 3 hits allowed, and he struck out 6. 2-0. Spangenberg high in the air, right center. Trumbo and Inciarte. It'll be the center fielder, and Inciarte makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. A 1-2-3-5 for De La Rosa. 6-0 Arizona.
To work and do some investigative reporting on a story that's made a lot of headlines here with the Diamondbacks. It is the churro dog. This new dessert made a lot of headlines because, well, it is a chocolate donut split in half with a churro in between, with frozen yogurt, because, you know, ice cream may be a little over the top, with whipped cream, caramel, and chocolate sauce. I would like you guys to guess how many calories are in this one.
2,000.
Ooh, less, actually.
Fewer, you mean?
Fewer. So you always catch me on that.
I'll go 1,117.
Somebody did their homework. Spot on, Jesse.
Is that a lot? Chris, I'm not a big calorie counter. I'm dumb at that stuff.
Let's just say you'd probably have to run about 12 miles.
12 miles.
At a good pace.
Chris, I know you are a fitness guru,
Right.
but are you going to sample?
I mean, might have a spoonful.
Yeah, you should.
And then maybe give it to a little kid. You guys want some?
No, thank you.
But I know you're on a diet.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm not going to touch that. I had broccoli for lunch today. Superfood. Makes me smarter.
Some quinoa with it. It's good for the brain, too. Paul Goldschmidt. Home run his last time up. Flew out to right in the first inning. Espana hits the corner, literally 2-2.
Nothing wrong with that call. Mentioned it earlier. Chad Fairchild likes to call the high strike. That was a legitimate strike. Saw it on the tracks.
Perfectly placed. Fox Tracks presented by Southland Technology.
How about Paul Goldschmidt and the Buster Posey batting stance? Similar to Buster Posey, right? Watch the bat when he gets set. Look at that. Remember? Buster Posey?
A little more bent, maybe?
Yeah.
2-2 is hit right field. Matt Kemp against the high desert sky here at night makes the catch. And for the second time tonight, Paul Goldschmidt has flown to right. Look at Mark Grace looking good in the purple throwbacks.
Oh, that guy can pick it over there at first base. San Diego State Aztec, Mark Grace, hitting coach for the Diamondbacks. Very smooth operator over there at first base.
Big day for a certain someone in that Dodger Brewer game. Mike will have the details with Steve Finley. One out, David Peralta. Nice night so far for him. Singled his first time up and scored. Doubled his second time up and scored. Hits that one in the air, shallow center. Myers with a lot of room there makes the catch. 2 away.
Con cuidado, piso mojado. Yes! Got some Padre fans. Oh, I love it.
Third baseman.
Thank you very much. A lot of hard work going into that sign. I love the homemade sign, and the Padre faithful over here in the desert showing off their hard work. Good for you. Cuidado, there's the Cuidado kid. Eddie Ortega, and all-star catcher in my book, Carlos Hernandez. I love those guys.
They are the best.
El mejor.
Yasmani Tomas off the mid of Spangenberg at second and into center for a base hit. Second hit of the night for Tomas. Nice effort by Spangenberg, just off the glove.
Look where this ball's hit. Right side, right? High fastball. Great effort by Corey. Because I tell you what, if he catches that cleanly, he's got plenty of time to get Tomas. Big hop, just off the little finger of his glove there.
Espana just missed it too. So a 2-out base runner for the Diamondbacks. Chris Owings, RBI single and a run scored his first time up. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Owings missed a couple of months last year with a left labrum injury. Had surgery in October. Guy that they were, and I'm sure still are to a certain extent, very excited about within their organization. Espana's up to 90 pitches. That 7-pitch fourth certainly helping him keep it going a little bit here. Arizona got to him early, a 4-run first inning.
Lack of location, I think that would be the summary, right? If you were to boil it down to one phrase or word.
location. Pitching like real estate. 1-2.
Well, how many times did you hear that growing up as a kid? Location, 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 huh? Any level.
Espanier will step off, take a look over at first base.
And the part of being a closer or being a starter, I beg your pardon, is having to wait. Having to wait those 5 days, right?
Big slow breaker misses high. 67 from Despaigne as Andrew Kashner and Will Venable take this one in.
Love it when the pitchers are talking to the hitters and vice versa. You know, usually it's pitchers and pitchers, right? They sit together on the bench, tell some stories, tell some lies. If I had to do it all over again, I would get into the ear of all the hitters. I hung with the pitchers. That's, you know. Ian Kennedy talking with Jed Jerko there. Hey, you never know. You might face one another one of these days, right? Down the road. You want to know what they're thinking.
Two to Owings with Tomas running, and it's fouled back. Sorry about that. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
4 of the 6 runs tonight for the D-backs with 2 outs.
Outside, ball 4. 2-out walk to Owings. And as Mudd just said, the Diamondbacks have done some damage with 2 outs tonight. 3 runs in the first and 1 in the third with 2 outs. Big night for Tuffy Gozawish, couple of RBI doubles. First two baggers of the season for the Arizona catcher, who's been struggling.
Yeah, you mentioned those 4 of 6 runs tonight for the Diamondbacks with 2 outs.
I thought you mentioned it. Into center field. Myers coming over. He's not going to get there, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Tuffy Gozawish is having a night. A pair of doubles. Now he's thinking 3. He'll slam on the brakes. A 3rd straight double for Tuffy Gozawish. This one drives in 2, and it's 8-0 Diamondbacks.
Right down the middle, maybe a little outer third, and Gozawish goes right back up to where it was pitched. Will Myers just out of his reach because he was playing on the first base side of second base, and he's thinking, you know what? We've got the lead. Why try to stretch it?
This is a guy that was hitting under 200 like a minute ago. 3 for 4 in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday. And a big night tonight. 3 consecutive doubles and 4 RBIs. And catcher has been an issue for this team. They signed Jared Saltalamacchia today, who was hitting, what, 069 for the Marlins. Ahmed swings and hits this one in the air left field. Long way to go for Upton. Amarista's giving it a look as well. And it will bounce into the seats. Strike 2.
Hey, 2 more runs crossing for the Diamondbacks with 2 outs, right? Mentioned that earlier.
You did mention.
Well, the NL ranks with 2 out runs currently now. Diamondbacks lead with 58. Guess who's in second place with 56? Padres.
Arizona has done it tonight. San Diego has not. Runner on second, 2 outs. 0-2 to Ahmed. Tuffy Gozawish's first 72 at bats of the season, no doubles. His last 3 at bats, 3 doubles. That's baseball. Nice stop by Norris. 1-2. Saw that game break coming up. Update on the Dodgers and the Brewers, who played this afternoon. Big day for a familiar name. Mike Palmer and Steve Finley have that. Up the middle, Amarista, nice play with the spin. Wow. Alexi Amarista with a big-time play at shortstop, and he may have just saved another run. Alexi Amarista. He can play a lot of places, and you know he can play shortstop. The spinning ninja for the third out. Arizona up 8-0. What's up, guys? Mike Palmer and Steve Finley, thank you much. Matt Kemp swinging and missing at the first offering from Ruby De La Rosa.
I think they make good points right there. Nobody's really running away with it right now as we sit here on May 7th. It's not like the NL Central with St. Louis at 20-7. Right?
Kemp hits this one, right field. Trumbo got a long way to go, and it falls, but in foul territory. That's kind of been the way this night has gone for the Padres up to now. Just missing extra bases to lead off the sixth. Ruby De La Rosa, just 3 hits allowed in the first 5 innings. When we saw him in April, he went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs, and as you see, he's held the Padres in check much of the night. And he's got the run support to back it up. Seen Nick Vincent up a couple of times in the Padre bullpen. Not the sharpest night for Odrisamer Despaigne, who's turned in 5 innings of work. Kemp single to left and hits that one to Ahmed. Wrong guy. Another nice play at shortstop, 1 away. All right, Mark, time now to check on the DraftKings players to watch from the pregame show. The guys gave you some names, and now we update the status. Ooh, rough night for Tim Hudson, huh?
I was just looking at that. With the way the pitching has been going for the San Francisco Giants, they've been lights out. Padres beat him yesterday, last game of the series. Brandon Belt, 1 for 2 from the left side for the Gigantes. And Colin McHugh, we saw his act in San Diego.
Will Myers was also your choice for pick the stick. Guys thinking right along with you as Justin Upton misses strike one.
Well, he had good numbers, right, against De La Rosa. Mentioned it in our pregame show. 5 for 7 for Will.
Did draw a walk back in the third inning. He'll have another shot or two as Upton takes the fastball outside. Huh.
That's holding on to a t-shirt right there.
I like that he's wearing it tonight. Justin hits that one right center field. Inciarte with a long way to run, and in front of the right fielder Trumbo, he makes the catch. 2 away. Ruby De La Rosa against Kemp and Upton to start it off here in the 6th inning. Diamondbacks pitching up and down as you'd expect. How about this? Yesterday in the second game of the doubleheader, Robbie Ray got the start for the Diamondbacks. The first left-handed starting pitcher they'd used all season.
Interesting.
There's a left-hander. Solarte takes fastball, strike one. How many of the Padres used?
All righties, none.
There you go. Last left-handed starting pitcher for the Padres was the last game of last season, Robbie Erlin in San Francisco.
Looks like Jed Jerko is going to grab a bat and a helmet as he's talking to Buddy Black. He'll be going into making a double switch. Have to wait and see.
De La Rosa gets that call on a fastball that was away from the mid of the catcher goes a wish. 1-2. Always looks funny when the catcher's got to reach for it, but as you can see, it was a strike. Nice day for Jerko yesterday. Good to see him getting the start against a righty.
Absolutely. Took some good swings.
Switch hitting Solarte runs out of patience. Two is hit in the air left field. Peralta makes the catch, side retired. Arizona up 8-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Trucks. How about some nice defensive plays tonight by the Padres?
The barehanded grab by Solarte at third base early in the game makes a perfect throw. The old 5-3 gets him by a quarter step. Hey, how about over at second base? Corey Spangenberg Rounds in front of that ball, fields in front of him, and fires a strike to pick up his pitcher, Despaigne. And then Alexi Amarista, the whirling dervish, a shortstop, with a nice 6-3 play. Tools of the trade, the defense tonight for the Padres.
Nick Vincent on the pitch. The pitching change brought to you by El Cajon Ford. 7th appearance of the season for Nick, who spent some time with the AAA club in El Paso.
Trying to bring those splits down. Pitching change brought to you by El Cajon Ford. Last time out for Nick was on Tuesday in San Francisco, an inning, couple of hits. He struck out one giant, and with the double switch, Corey Spangenberg goes over to third base. Jed Jerko will hit 9th, playing second, and Nick Vincent will hit in Jan Hervé Solarte's spot if you're scoring at home on the double switch.
De La Rosa 3 for 28 in his career. 0 for the season, though. And Vincent has him foul that pitch back. 0-2. Last saw Nick on Tuesday night. Pitched a scoreless inning in San Francisco. 6-0 loss to the Giants. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Nick Vincent comes in, strikes out the first man he faces, one away, and time now for the T-Mobile game changer. How about this Padre bullpen? It was a big source of concern for some people in the month of April, but the last 6 games, much better.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a trend like that with this team as we go into the second month of the season. Yeah, it wasn't good the first month in April, no doubt about it. But you got to start somewhere, right?
Ender Inciarte takes outside.
Boils down, you got to make better pitches. Can't have deep counts. You can't pitch at this level being 1-0, 2-0, 2-1 all the time.
Good location there. 1-1. Tough night for Odrisamer Despaigne as we see Nick Vincent here in the 6th. Vincent struck out the first man he faced. Despaigne just 1 strikeout tonight in 5 innings. 10 hits for Arizona and 8 runs against the Padres starter. 2-2. Inciarte 0 for 3. Fly out and a couple of ground outs. Fouls that cutter away. Still 2-2. You like the purple?
Not a fan. Just being honest.
Arizona wore this look or some variation of it from when they came into the league in 1998 through the 2006 season. And of course they won a World Series in the purple 2001.
You know, I try to think of it in a logical standpoint. There's the Arizona state flag, right? Your name of your team is the Arizona Diamondbacks. Why not use the state colors from the flag and incorporate in your uniform?
So you want to see red and yellow and blue?
Yeah, you can incorporate that.
Okay. Swung on and missed. Nick Vincent comes out of the bullpen and strikes out the first 2 he sees.
Nice pitch by Nick Vincent. He throws the cutter, he throws the slider. That's a 2-seamer with some movement right on the outside corner. Some late movement. Is that thinking too logically? State colors?
Trumbo homered in the first inning and a couple of ground outs to third. Takes cutter outside. 1-0.
Nice talking to you.
Trying to ice you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trumbo fouls it back our direction.
Remember, Nick was sent down to the minor leagues. Said he was working too much. That cutter of his was being a little bit too sliderish. He was working underneath a little bit. Bigger break. If you're throwing a cut fastball, you can't make it too big. It's to stay on top of it. Went down to El Paso and worked on that, and felt that he got that feel down on that pitch.
Great numbers at El Paso too. 1-0, a 0.96 ERA, 16 strikeouts and 1 walk.
Yeah.
In 8 games out of the pen for the Chihuahuas. As we said, first month of the season for the Padre bullpen, not necessarily what everybody's expected. Looks like they may be righting the ship now, as that one is line past Spangenberg and down the line. Corey might have slowed it down, and Upton eventually gets there as Trumbo cruises into second with a 2-out double. First inning at third base for Spangenberg after playing the first 5 at second.
Step to the right. Oh, you know what? If you ask Corey, should he have that ball? I'll bet you Corey Spangenberg said, yeah, I should have had that ball. Ball was hit hard, hooking, but got a glove on it. Looked like it was a makeable play, but they'll be ruled a hit.
Boy, when the Diamondbacks win, they win big. In their 12 victories this season, averaging close to 8 runs per game. That's where they're at. Looking for more with Goldie at the plate. Tips it into the mid, and another representation of how big they've been winning. How about their closer? 1 save.
That's unbelievable. On May 7th, their closer has 1 save.
Goldschmidt off the end of the bat, right side in the air. Everybody's giving it a look. Alonso runs out of room and just barely. Nice effort by the San Diego first baseman. 2 outs has been dangerous tonight for the Padre pitchers. Certainly anytime Paul Goldschmidt is at the plate, it is a dangerous situation.
He's in scoring position at the plate, right?
That's what they say. Last year an all-star, hit 300, 19 homers, 69 RBIs, all the doubles, 39, and that was not in a full season. Fouls it off again. His year ended on August 1st. Pittsburgh, hit by pitch right on the hand. When he went down, he was leading the National League in doubles and extra base hits, and was tied for second in runs scored. Pretty good chance you look at the National League offensive leaderboards at any point this summer, and you'll see Paul Goldschmidt's name near the top in a lot of them. Vincent's got him 0-2, and another foul ball right side.
You know, the story for tonight for the Diamondbacks is the extra base power, right? Doubles, home runs. And speaking of extra base hits, the last 7+ games, including tonight for the Diamondbacks, 33 extra base hits. The first 19 games of the season, 40. And 15 of the 33 are from Trumbo and this guy at the plate, Paul Goldschmidt.
They had a big day yesterday in Denver, the doubleheader. 19 hits in game 1, 12 hits in game 2, and they've got 11 here in the 6th inning tonight. Off the end of the bat, and Goldschmidt not making it easy on Nick Vincent.
See, that's what makes him such a dangerous hitter. He's got good plate coverage. He can foul some pitches. He can go to right field. He can go to center field. Foul pole to foul pole. Look at this plate coverage right here. And for a big guy, look at it. Just getting that bat out there. Fouling it off to stay alive.
Vincent struck out De La Rosa and Inciarte to start the inning. Trumbo a 2-out double. And now working to the dangerous Paul Goldschmidt. 0-2. And it's hit well to center. Myers is going back, not going to get there. More 2-out scoring for the Diamondbacks. Paul Goldschmidt, a double. His second RBI of the night. 9-0 Arizona. Back-to-back two-baggers with 2 outs here in the 6th.
Well, you go back to that pitch that was fouled off, out of play. Not Goldschmidt's pitch, right? And he wants that pitch up. He gets on top of this. I mean, Derek Norris is up, right, on contact. That's where the target was. But, hey, credit Goldschmidt for getting on top of that pitch. Some kind of strong right there.
David Peralta, 2 for 3, takes inside, ball 1. Singled his first time, scored, doubled his second time, scored, flew out to center his last time up. On the ground, right side and foul. 1-1. Peralta pulled that one on the ground, and as you can see, 3 infielders on the right side. One-two. Nick Vincent having to work here in the 6th. 26 pitch innings so far. Started off with a pair of strikeouts. Next, a pair of doubles. And now a 1-2 count to Peralta. Nick Vincent, certainly a guy on a given night can give you more than 1 inning.
Hey, that's a workload. 27 pitches. The adrenaline's pumping.
Peralta up the middle. Myers coming in. Not going to get there. It falls in front of him. Goldschmidt will score. Another 2-out run for Arizona. 10-0 Diamondbacks in the bottom of the 6th. 5 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Oh, this stinks. Diamondbacks into double digits. Keep on swinging those bats. Once again, pitching hasn't been the strong suit tonight.
Want some good news?
Sure.
James Shields tomorrow night. Game 2 of this series. As Yasmani Tomas pops this one up on the infield. Jed Jerko waiting for it, making the catch. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. 2 more for Arizona here in the 6th. second batter of the game. 4th home run of this season. For the Arizona right fielder, Chris Owings, later on that inning, an RBI single. Arizona would score 4 times in the first. Paul Goldschmidt led off the 3rd with a bomb of his own. Sent that one into the bullpen in left field. And Tuffy Gozowich, the catcher for the Diamondbacks, having quite a night. 3 doubles. RBI double, 2-run double. And so Odrisamer Despaigne allowed 8 runs in 5 innings of work tonight. Ruby De La Rosa has certainly held up his end for the Diamondbacks. Trumbo, Goldschmidt, Gozowich, all in on it offensively for the Snakes.
Hitting the mistakes, capitalizing on those mistakes. We've got a broken base out there. So backup second base being put in the game.
Anchored it in as Chris Owings watches and Derek Norris prepares to hit. Yonder Alonso, Alexi Amarista also due up. Jed Jerko after that, if anyone is to reach. De La Rosa opens the 7th at 96 pitches and with a 10-run lead. Norris's double, one of just 3 hits against De La Rosa tonight. Game 4 of a road trip for the Padres that began in San Francisco. Game 1 on Monday night against the Giants. Padres shut out, managed just 2 hits. On Tuesday, Padres were shut out, managed just 4 hits. They exploded yesterday for 9 runs on 16 hits. But back to the low offensive output here in the opener at Arizona. Norris to Tomas. Nice play. Throws him out, 1 away. Well, we've seen Yasmani Tomas look uncomfortable at third base earlier in the game. That's a nice play. And a little chest bump from his pitcher.
First baseman, Yonder Alonso.
Check out the first step. To his left, diving. That's a big kid down there at third base.
Yonder Alonso takes ball 1. De La Rosa does have 1 start of 7 complete innings this year. Yonder fouls it off down the left field line. On April 25th against the Pirates, De La Rosa allowed a run on 4 hits, struck out 8. Took a no decision, but probably his best start of the year. 1-2.
Still mixing it up as we've got action. Kevin Quackenbush heating up for the Padres in their bullpen.
Ball and 2 strikes to Yonder. De La Rosa delivers and a pitch fouled back out of play. Ruby. Yonder. Just missing. 2-2. R-U-B-B-Y. But
yeah.
Ruby.
And that's his given name. Ruby Carlos De La Rosa.
Fouled off again. His battery mate, James Benjamin Gozowich. Tuffy. Not his given name. I like Tuffy, by the way. It's a good name.
It is.
Especially for a catcher.
So if Ruby is R-U-B-B-Y,
yeah,
shouldn't Tuffy be Toofy? T-U-F-F-Y? Or Ruby be Rubby?
I think it's really up to the discretion of the parents, right? Pronunciation wise. like your name. It could have been a C or a K. It's still Mark. It's up to your parents.
That's the way it should be with a K.
Yonder battling Ruby here with one out in the top of the 7th. 10-0 Diamondbacks.
See, he's still throwing changeups even though it's 10-0. You know, it's an opportunity to throw those pitches, maybe work on those pitches, even though you've got a 10-run lead.
Good at bat from Alonso, who walked his last time up. Flew out to left field in the 2nd. Amarista's next. He's 0 for 2.
You know, the concentration at any level, really, at this game of baseball, you really have to amp it up. When you take a look at the pitches there, Leandro, this at bat 9. But, you know, you can't give away at bats. You know, when you're trailing 10-0, or if you're winning 10-0, right? That's the concentration level. Pitchers can't give away innings, can't give away at bats. You know, in a game like this, you can, you know, emotionally get down a little bit. Sure, it stinks, but you got to put together good at bats.
I imagine the concentration that it requires to stand in a batter's box and try and hit a big league pitcher is such that you've got to put all of those sort of extra things out of your mind. Great battle here between De La Rosa and Alonso, and De La Rosa wins it. Changeup got him. 7th strikeout of the night. 2 outs here in the 7th.
This is a great changeup by De La Rosa. After the battle, he pulls the string. Great arm action, and that ball just floats up there. You can tell by the swing. Watch yonder swing. It looks like a fastball, but he's trying to stay back and reaches for it and cannot foul it off.
2 outs, nobody aboard for Amarista. Ball 1. Still getting it up there, mid-90s. Grounded to short, struck out in the 4th. In the air, center field, Pollock, the new center fielder, makes the catch in a 1-2-3 7th inning for Ruby De La Rosa. He's been great, and the Diamondbacks lead big. Only 25 miles from Petco Park. By Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. And by Kaiser Permanente. Drive. Beautiful desert sky outside of Phoenix. Tough night so far for the Padres. They trail the Diamondbacks as Kevin Quackenbush comes in for the 7th time this season. He replaces Nick Vincent, who allowed a couple of runs in his 1 inning of work. Bottom of the 7th inning here in downtown Phoenix.
Last time out on the hill for Kevin Quackenbush was on Tuesday against the Giants. An inning, he gave up a hit, walked one, struck out one. That was in the 7th inning. Left a couple of runners stranded. Pretty good numbers in the short time that Kevin's been out there.
Chris Owings, Tuffy Gozawish, and Nick Ahmed, the scheduled hitters. As Quackenbush delivers a first pitch fastball for a called strike. See some changes. Matt Kemp, Justin Upton will both get the rest of the night off as Amarista moves from shortstop to left field. Will Venable comes in to play right. And Clint Barmas fills the hole at short. In the air, left center field. Amarista's not going to catch that one. It's off the wall. Myers plays it on the hop. Chris Owings with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 7th. He's on base for the 3rd time tonight.
My goodness.
Additional defensive changes for San Diego this inning. Shortstop, Alexis Amarista. Now at shortstop.
I don't think the Padre pitching staff has gotten away with one mistake tonight. Arizona Diamondbacks are all over it, splitting the gap there in left center field. That's exactly where Amarista was playing too. Went all the way to the track on the fly.
That double, the 9th extra base hit. 3 of them belong to this guy, Tuffy. If he doubles here, it'll be a franchise record. Driven in 4 runs. Take strike 1 from Quack. Diamondbacks are hitting big time tonight. 8 of their 10 runs have come with 2 outs. But they're causing trouble right out of the gate here in the 7th. 1-1. Saw Quack in the 2nd game against the Giants, pitched the 7th inning that night. Left side, that will not be a double. Barmas throws Gozawish out. 1 away.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Tomorrow night starter James Shields sitting with the pitching coach Darren Balsley. His manager Bud Black gets a couple of his regulars out of the game here. Long stretch of games for the Padres as this one's lined to right, pretty much right at Venable. He makes the catch for the 2nd out. And that'll officially be the end of the night for Ruby De La Rosa as Danny Dorn comes in to pinch hit for the Snakes.
Pinch hit for Ruby De La Rosa, number 26, Danny Dorn.
Talked a little bit about Dorn earlier in the night, finally getting his shot in the big leagues after nearly 1,000 games and 10 years in the minor leagues.
I love stories like that. Good for Danny Dorn. Still chasing the dream. That's great.
Dorn can play some infield, some outfield, but they're using him almost exclusively here as a pinch hitter. In fact, if you go to Baseball Reference and you check his page, he's actually listed as a pinch hitter.
Really?
Yeah, they don't even give him a position. Sprays that one foul. 1-1. Daniel Hudson looking like he'll be next now that De La Rosa is through. 7 shutout innings for the Arizona starter. 3 hits, couple walks, and 7 strikeouts. Quite impressive. Dorn takes strike 2. Chris Owings led off against Quackenbush with a double. Gozawish grounded out. Ahmed line to right. So now Dorn with 2 outs and a runner on second. Did he go? He did, according to the third base umpire, Marvin Hudson. And so that is the 3rd out of the inning. Nice job pitching around the leadoff double by Kevin Quackenbush. We'll go to the 8th in Phoenix. Arizona up 10-0. Here's Jed Jerko, first at bat of the night, came in a double switch last inning. He'll be followed by Will Myers and Corey Spangenberg against the new Arizona hurler, Daniel Hudson. First pitch swinging, hits it well down the right field line. Inciarte will watch it go about 10 rows deep. 0-1. Been a little bit of a struggle as of late for Daniel Hudson, making his 9th appearance.
Fastball slider change. 93 to 97 on the fastball. Dealt with some injuries in his career.
How about this? It's his 4th year here, and he's the longest tenured member of the club. Danny Dorn playing the field for the first time as a major leaguer. Great story.
Yeah.
Nice to see him kind of check another box. Been used only as a pinch hitter. Now he gets to stay in and play some first base. 1-2 to Jerko.
Looking at Danny Dorn's bio in the media guide, I'm not reciting this from memory by any means, folks, but signed in 2006 with Billings. It's a farmhand for the Cincinnati Reds.
The Mustangs.
Yep. Spent 4 years in Louisville. I think he ran for mayor his 3rd.
Jerko to center. Pollock coming in. He hadn't played well. 1 away. And before we continue learning more about Danny Dorn, we're going to take a look back at our keys to the game, which were brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers. What did you want to say, Dan?
Well, let's take a look. Keep Goldie under locks. Well, 2 for 4 double home run. That's an F. Stay hot in the desert. No runs, 3 hits. F minus, if there is such a thing. Horrible night for me. But you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. And as Andy said, the sun will come up tomorrow.
Especially here in Phoenix. You don't have to question that. Dale Thayer. Maybe the guy in the bottom of the 8th after Vincent took the 6th, then Quackenbush the 7th. Myers 0 for 2 with a walk. Myers came in with good numbers against Ruby De La Rosa. Obviously the sample size not very large, but 4 for 7, couple of RBIs. Played a lot, Will Myers, this season. 117 at bats coming into this game. That's tied with Matt Kemp for the most in the National League. 2-2. So Dorn was in Louisville for a couple of years, playing for the Bats. How did the mayoral run go? Do you know?
He finished 3rd.
Okay. Three and 2 to Will Myers.
That's the old joke in the minor leagues, you know. Hey, I played parts of 8 years in the minor leagues. And when you're at one stop for a long, long time, the old joke is, oh, hey, you're going to run for mayor? Really? I get it.
Now doing it in the majors. Hudson's 3-2 is popped up, foul territory behind the plate, and Tuffy runs out of room. Look out. The guy in the Mark Reynolds jersey is all fired up.
Yeah. See what a baseball can do for you. Bring a smile to your face. Have a good old time.
Hudson strikes out Myers with 97-mile-per-hour cheese. And Daniel Hudson has allowed 8 runs in his last 6 innings against the first 2 here in the 8th.
Well, after Ruby De La Rosa was pumping 96, 97, Daniel Hudson pumping it up there. Recovering from that Tommy John surgery. It seems like that surgery took very nicely for Daniel Hudson. 2 of them to be exact.
Spangenberg fouls that one back.
It's amazing just see how a ligament, maybe what, an inch and a half?
The ulnar collateral ligament
can just change your career.
We saw Hudson's return after the second Tommy John at Petco last September. Really emotional moment for him, his teammates. As I recall, Padres, some of the guys, they were moved by it too. That was the day after Corey Spangenberg made quite a memory of his own against the D-backs. Walk-off homer in his second big league game. Here it is, last September 2nd. Second big league game for Corey Spangenberg. Pinch hit, walk-off homer. And he hits this one the other way. In left field, Peralta makes the catch, and a 1-2-3-8 for Daniel Hudson. 10-0 Diamondbacks. By Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you could save. And by Petco, what we feed them matters. Bottom of the 8th inning in Phoenix. As the moon shines on the desert, Dale Thayer in to pitch for the Padres for the 12th time this season. And for all the talk about some of the relief struggles San Diego's had this year, Dale has been Mr. Consistent.
Absolutely consistent with that fastball, too, at about 92, 93. Once again, boils down to serious concentration, trailing 10-0. You want to score this nice, clean inning.
First pitch swinging, Inciarte down the left field line. Amarista going over, and it's off the wall. Just barely fair down the left field line. No, a home run. Marvin Hudson, the third base umpire, chased it down there, and Amarista's pointing up at the wall. It sounded like it hit the top of the fence. Maybe it hit the pole.
You know what, Jesse? Third base umpire Marvin Hudson did signal home run. He put his hand up in the air, finger in the air, and did the old circle like round tripper, right? He did do that, but now they're conversing right now. We did hear it hit something. Oh, it hit the foul pole below.
I think it was underneath. I think it hurt. It hit the yellow.
Watch the 330. The ball hits around the 3, right? Yeah.
It's not a home run.
Hit about right there.
Now back, center fielder.
And they're going to send him back to second base. So, Buddy, no need to challenge or even ask for a replay review. Nice cooperation being used by this umpiring crew. They get together, take a look at it, and Inciarte has a double. Another two-base hit for the Diamondbacks tonight. First at bat for A.J. Pollock, who came in as a defensive replacement last inning. Ten extra base hits tonight for the Diamondbacks. Ties the most by any team in baseball so far this year. And that's hit well out to center field. Myers going back at the track makes the catch. And Inciarte will tag, going second to third. One out.
Pitch hit for Daniel Hudson, number 4, Cliff Pennington.
Gonna have a pinch hitter here. Cliff Pennington coming off the bench to hit for Goldschmidt, who will get the rest of the night off, which is to say most likely an inning. First pitch swinging, grounder to second. That'll get another run home. Jerko throws him out, an RBI ground out for Pennington, and another run for the Diamondbacks.
Hey, coming up tonight on Fox Sports San Diego, stay tuned for Padres Live, followed by a complete recap of the NFL Draft on Chargers Insider. Then, join Steve Hartman and Mike Costa for the latest news on San Diego sports, coming up tonight on Fox Sports San Diego.
Dale Thayer with 2 outs, nobody aboard, working to David Peralta's got a 3-hit night going. Singled and scored his first time up, doubled and scored his second time up, and an RBI single in his last at bat. 3 for 4. He's also flown to center. Hits that one hard and over Jerko into right field for a base hit. 4th hit of the night for David Peralta.
Third baseman, Yasmani Tomas.
Yasmani Tomas reached twice, scored twice. First pitch swinging, and he grounds it foul. Tomas also the lone strikeout victim of the Padres starter tonight, Odrisamer Despaigne.
Hey, you think there should be an international draft?
I do.
I do too.
but I think it is a far more complicated thing than most people realize. Not to say it's impossible. Another grounder foul. And of course, Tomas, like so many other recent international free agents, particularly from Cuba, coming up with what's essentially a big free agent contract to start their career.
Yep.
Ground ball, nice stop at first base by Alonso. Looks like he's hurt. Flips to Thayer, who can't make the play. Alonso's down in pain. Peralta advances to third base. And a costly moment here, perhaps, in an 11-0 game, bottom of the 8th.
Well, this ball off the bat, Yonder Alonso has to go to his left. Cannot use his right arm. He flips with the glove, cradling his right shoulder. And Todd Hutchison out to have a look at him.
They're going to call it an infield single as Alonso heads to the clubhouse. See Will Middlebrooks come into the game and play first base.
For San Diego, now at first base, number 11, Will Middlebrooks.
Diamondbacks continuing to mash. Now 48 hits in their last 3 games, counting the doubleheader yesterday in Denver.
Ouch.
Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Chris Owings has had a big night. Ball 1. The Diamondbacks have scored in the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th, the 6th, and now the 8th.
You know, very few times in Major League Baseball history where a team has scored at least 1 run in every inning, 1 through 9. Very few times it's happened. Scoreless in the 2nd, 4th, and 7th, as you just mentioned, Jesse. And I've said it once before, when the Padres have been on the other end, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug.
Thayer strikes out Owings, and that's the 3rd out of the inning here in the 8th. We'll go to the 9th as Buddy Black looks on. are a collection of accomplishments for the Arizona starter Ruby De La Rosa. He threw 7 shutout innings tonight, allowed just 3 hits, a couple of walks, 7 strikeouts, threw 112 pitches in what was, without a doubt, his best start of the season.
It was. He had the fastball going at 96, 97. He would pull the string on the changeup. He was hitting his spots. Very few times he threw that pitch down the heart of the plate. In and out, up and down.
Padres Live, the post-game show is coming up. Mike and Steve will have an update on Yonder Alonso. We saw him leave the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Talk about De La Rosa's big night, and we will hear from the Padres skipper Bud Black as Evan Marshall comes out to try and finish this one off for the Diamondbacks. Big lead for Arizona and the 11th appearance for the 24-year-old right-hander.
This is the type of game with the 7.5 ERA, 10 2/3. Look at those splits. Try to get any work in and, hey, start somewhere to try to bring down those numbers. You have one blowout, right, Jesse? And you have one bad inning, it just inflates everything.
First at bat of the night for Will Venable. Started Tuesday in center field at San Francisco. And in the hole, 0-2. Marshall's 0-2 to Venable. Missing at 95. Seen a few guys that can get it up there pretty quick for the Snakes tonight.
All 3 of them been in there tonight, right? De La Rosa, Hudson was pumping it up there. Now Marshall.
Join us at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Second game of 4. James Shields. On the ground to shortstop. Nick Ahmed. Strong throw, 1 away. That was the first at bat tonight for Will Venable. Now the first at bat tonight for Clint Barmas.
Shortstop, Clint Barmas.
Came in to play defense in the 7th inning as Buddy Black got Justin Upton and Matt Kemp out of the game. .94 and strike 1.
Austin Hedges moves out on deck.
Barmas started the first game of the Giants series at shortstop. Been mostly starting against left-handed pitchers. Don't expect to see one of those the next couple of days, although the Sunday starter for the Diamondbacks is still good old TBD. So you never know. They could bring back Robbie Ray, who threw yesterday in the doubleheader. Barmas, well hit. Deep left field. Peralta, though, will make the catch, 2 away. Evan Marshall gets the first couple of outs, and Austin Hedges, coming off the big day yesterday in San Francisco, will get an opportunity as a pinch hitter here with 2 outs in the ninth.
For Dale Thayer, number 18, Austin Hedges.
RBI single yesterday, also a sacrifice fly in his first big league start. Swinging first pitch and a ground ball to Tomas. That'll do it. The Diamondbacks take game 1 of this 4-game series by a final score of 11-0. Padres Live is coming up next. Mike Pomerantz, Steve Finley, what is in store for us?
boys, make it. Come on, nice shot.